Hello everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the sixth week of the Cuphead weekly races. Sixth week already, and today I'm joined here with Andrea, the call himself. How are you, Andrea? I'm sorry. I think Andrea couldn't hear me because I was on mute on Discord. But
Okay, now I can hear you.
I think the stream was able to hear me. How are you, Andrea?
I'm fine, thanks. Hopefully, I'm ready and looking forward for this new race, new category, and but the runners are mostly ready, I think.
Yeah.
Today we have 3 runners.
Yeah, we have 3 runners today. It was not that big of a turnout like in many other weeks, but still good. I mean, I understand it. It's kind of a, let's say, a weird category. Not a lot of people are used to playing with just one gun, and in this particular category, it involves a clip at the very beginning if you want to do the faster route, and that clip, it's like really tricky. But I believe these 3 runners were mostly practicing that a moment ago.
Yeah, I think that if you want to be competitive at this category, you have to learn that clip. It's a very precise one. I mean, one of these runners, Silent Walk, made available a quick and short tutorial that explains how to do that, but it still remains quite a frame-perfect trick. So it really comes down to how many attempts you need to do that. I mean, something around 3 or 4 attempts is already good, since I believe it's still a time save compared to the forest folly strategies, which is what someone usually one does if you don't want to go for the clip. And this kind of reminds me Super Mario Bros. 3. I don't know if you are familiar with that kind of speedrunning, but there are several ball clips, and it's kind of similar to that. And the mindset is, okay, I don't necessarily need to get it first try, but if I get it second or third try, it's still gonna be good. And in the meanwhile, the runners started their run.
Yeah, they have already started. And yeah, speaking of Mario Bros. 3, the one that I remember a lot is one of the, I think it's 7-1, I believe.
7-1, yes.
That has that
one is really
clip.
big. Yes.
Whoa, and Wolf gets the clip like super fast here.
Second try.
And we see Island Walk over there a little bit stuck in the clip. And okay, pretty much Jason and Island Walk got it almost at the same time.
Yes. And speaking of Wolf, he's kind of a record holder for the 2 main categories of this game. In the 2 all bosses regular categories, both Legacy and Current Patch, and he proved already to be one of the best, if not the best, by just nailing the clip. Second try, that was second try, I believe. So it was impressive.
Yeah.
The other 2 runners did pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
Island around 5th and 6th try, Jason around.
Yeah, it was
3rd,
definitely
4th.
not a slow clip. So the idea for that clip is because you need at least 4 coins to purchase the only weapon allowed for this category, which is the Roundabout. And you have the NPC that gives you already 3. And with the clip you can get the 4th coin without using P-Shooter because, well, P-Shooter is not allowed to be used. So what this does, it saves you the time to go into Forest Follies, which would be the closest run and gun. And it's also hard to do it in Pacifist. So the clip saves you time for going to Forest Follies, and it's also less risky than entering Forest Follies.
Yes, because Forest Follies is always a nightmare level. I mean, even if it's not legacy categories, Forest Follies is still pretty hard level, especially if you want to go for good times. I mean, you can play safe and do it slowly, but in the meantime, Wolf beats the Root Pack boss with a Roundabout. This is pretty easy fight. There's no really big threats here to be aware of. You just you can make a big time difference if you swing the Roundabout correctly, especially during the Onion phase. Swinging the EX Roundabout is probably the main technique you have to master if you want to be competitive here. This kind of reminds me of the standard or bosses legacy category, where usually you spend a lot of time swinging the roundabouts. And actually, if you can swing the roundabouts, I believe the maximum for 7 times, which is, I mean, the maximum amount of time you can do it, you're going to do a lot of damage, even more than other EX such as the Lobber EX. So it's really important to make the roundabout swinging without actually touching it before it expires on its own. And this way you can do a lot of damage. In the meantime, all the three runners are doing the frogs fight. This is one of the fights which are heavily cycle based. In meaning that if you lose a cycle, you lose a lot of time because after you hit a certain amount of damage, you actually don't deal any more damage. So if you get stuck into a slower cycle, you lose a lot of time. It appears that all the three runners actually got the skip, or at least they get a good cycle in turn. Now they are actually dealing with the last phase with the slot machine. 3 possible attacks. With Highland, get the Tiger, which is probably the fastest, but also the hardest to manage. Whereas Jason and Wolf got the Frogs, which is something in the middle in terms of speed and difficulty, and whereas the Bull is probably the easiest one, but is also the slowest one.
Yeah, definitely the Bull is the easiest one to avoid, like you said, but a lot of experienced runners, they don't like the Bull because you have to be, while it's easy to avoid, you have to be a little bit more on the back because it's super hard to react to the Bulls that are pointing down if you're like right in front of the machine.
Yes, and also remember that this is a short-range weapon, unless you shoot back. The fact that you have a short-range weapon affects how we are going to approach each enemy. For instance, with the roundabout, if you stay too far from the machine, you're not going to hit him. So that's actually a trade-off you have to keep in mind. In the meantime, the next boss is Guppy Grande, our happy little friendly blue ball, which is inspired from, I think, enemies from Dragon Quest or something like that. Not really another straightforward battle. I mean, this is something that if you play Legacy again, it doesn't really change too much from the Legacy battle in terms of movements and in terms of how you use the X battle. It's kind of similar, except for that, of course, in Legacy you don't have to face the tombstone phase because you're definitely going to kill the boss way before he starts attacking during that phase. And we see good times from Highland Volk and Wolf. And let's see what Jason is gonna obtain. I believe it's something like 46, okay. 3 good times. And now we are going to face the first flying boss, the boss for which we use the head plan. We only allow to use the gun here. We don't allow to use the bombs. I mean, bombs are not available at this point of the run. They will be available in Island 2, but players are not allowed to get them in any case.
Yeah.
Hilleberg is another boss. This is a kind of complicated boss in terms of figuring out an optimal and efficient strategy, especially if you are not allowed to go for the Hilda skip, which is a technique which is heavily used in Legacy to actually skip the moon phase and kill the boss a lot quicker than otherwise possible with standard strategies. The best thing you can do is actually do 2 damage boosts when the boss charges you, and then use all your rockets at your best to hit the boss as many times as possible, and without keeping shooting her. That's the best thing you can do here. Definitely, each second you pass without aiming at her, it's a second loss here. This is kind of the concept of this fight.
Yeah, pretty much, and sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep the hits going, because like you mentioned, you have to do at least 2 damage boosts for the most optimal fight, so that leaves you with no room for mistakes. You have to avoid pretty much everything else, and sometimes the little minions, the bullets that they throw, and the attacks that Hilda is throwing at you, they kind of come together, they try to trap you, so you have to just avoid them, and sometimes you miss those hits while trying to avoid any hits that you might potentially get.
Yes, Roundabout decided to play it a bit safe, not going for 2 damage boosts, but just once, and actually paid off because he got hit. Unfortunately, this cost him a lot of time since he got a relatively slow time compared to the others, but this is a trade-off in race you often want to do, sacrificing a bit of speed in terms of actually finishing the boss alive, because a death is definitely a death sentence in a race, especially against such strong opponents.
Yeah, I mean, both Wolf and Jason are just crazy good in different categories, but they're super good. So it would be interesting to see what Island Walk can do against these two.
It's doing pretty well this far. There's less than half of a boss difference. So I believe that the only big time loss he had has been Hildeberg at this point. So it's doing pretty well. And solid fight from SMB Wall. This Cagni Carnation can be a pretty frantic fight if you get the wrong pattern, especially if you get twice the bullet hell attack. You have a lot of minions dancing across your scattered across your screen. Sometimes keeping track of everything is hard as hell. And sometimes you can also get trapped, get cornered, meaning that sometimes you have the spiky plants from the bottom, and also attacks from the above, and also the flower itself shooting you with some gear wheels. What the heck? Flower shooting gear well? Okay, I don't gonna ask that. I'm gonna questioning that. But all three players managed to beat Cagni Carnation and to finish Island 1, and now they are approaching Island 2. It has a lot of interesting bosses, starting from Beppy the Clown. I mean, another fight which has really nothing super special, apart from actually keeping hitting him and swinging the roundabouts as much as possible. That's actually we see a routing difference, since Highland Wolf decided to do the Baroness Bomb fight first, whereas Jason and Wolf opt for doing the Clown fight first. There's not a huge difference in routing when you are not going to pick up the bombs, which is the case. The routing, doing Beppy first is slightly faster, but I mean, it's not a really.
It's probably just a couple
difference.
seconds faster from a little bit of extra walk.
Yeah. I mean, an order of seconds. Not
Yeah.
really.
I mean, on the long run, that shouldn't make that big of a difference. Like you were saying, dying is what can really do a lot of difference. And we see Jason right now with only 1 HP. He would have to be very careful right now.
Yeah, especially during the last phase. And even here, sometimes the horse attack and the card can combine in a very nasty way, and it's easy to get trapped and having any sort of escape. And for Jason, that would mean death. But thus far, it managed to save yourself from a pretty tricky situation. And in the meantime, Wolf actually beat Beppy the Clown. I think Wolf is in the lead right now. And Island Wang actually now beat the Baroness Bon. They are pretty much long match. The two fights requires more or less the same amount of time. Probably Beppy the Clown is slightly longer, but not too much. So Highland is not too far from the two. Oh, ouch! And Jason died actually.
Yeah,
And
so that's definitely gonna cost now.
Yeah, that can be hurtful for Jason. Unfortunately, the last phase can be a bit spammy with the penguins and the little white ball that the penguins throw at you. Especially because when the cart, the roller coaster approaches the screen, you don't really have too many places to hide and too many places to escape from the ball. So even there, getting cornered or just not actually noticing a ball can really cost you. Let's see if Jason. We will see if Jason will be able to recover from this death. I mean, also can happen that Wolf and Highland can have some deaths. So definitely Jason is still in the race, but of course he has a lot to catch up with.
Yeah, he has to rely right now on Island or Wolf doing a little bit of a mistake. And we saw Island, he's definitely willing to, like you say, take it a little bit slow, take a little bit of patience, but on the price of not dying, which is definitely smart on a race. We always joke that the best strat is not dying. That's the fastest strat. We'll see. I don't know, did you try this category at all during this week or something, Andrea?
No, I haven't. Unfortunately, I don't really have time to play much categories and decided to focus on just one.
On Legacy?
Yeah. But I watch a lot of runners trying this category, so I have a little bit of an idea of the difficulties or the hardest fights. And you know what? Guess which is the hardest fight of the round?
Yeah, that was about what I was gonna say. For me, it was definitely Grim Matchstick.
It's definitely big match. It's even
Which-
harder than in other categories.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, but the last phase is just crazy hard if you want to keep spamming your weapon because you know this roundabout when it does the turnaround, it just goes a little bit higher than the place where you actually shoot it, and that
Yes.
really messes up the aim for trying to avoid the green matchstick little fires that break into
Yes.
four.
Yes, and the point is sometimes usually players use backward shoot. When you use backward shoot, you are not always able to predict if and where actually a fireball will be hit by your shots. And sometimes you can find yourself in situation where you have no way to escape.
Yep.
Meaning, if you have a fireball up on your head, and by chance one of your shots hits the fireball in that moment, you'll end up having a fireball coming from the above. You cannot go down, and you cannot even move, especially if you're crouched. So that's a situation that can happen and on which you have really no escape. I've seen 2C Plus losing a round because of that. So definitely a tricky round. We are gonna see it very soon. Wolf is now he's about to do Wally Warbles, and then after Wally Warbles, he will be the first actually approaching the mighty Green Master fight.
Yeah, and we can see everybody everyone is a pretty decent pace right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Wolf is just at an insane pace again. Already
Yeah.
at Wally right now. Island Walk gonna be a little bit behind, heading into Wally Warbles now. Well, Jason has
Yeah.
to fight Baroness Bonbon in a moment.
Yeah, Jason is definitely, because of the death, Jason is the player who is more behind compared to Wolf. The Highland still has a more or less half boss behind, whereas Jason has one boss and half. Is one boss and half behind Wolf. But still a pretty close race. I mean, that can definitely shuffling the situation and with deaths we can definitely have some changes in leads and to the outcome of this race. So we'll see.
Yeah, especially right now that they're about to be heading to the dragon, the infamous dragon.
Yeah, this is probably the strongest gatekeeper of the round.
Yeah.
And we see Wolf what's gonna do with the dragon. I mean, with the roundabout you play super risky and actually use all your EX shots during the last phase, meaning that you have to stay super close to him and keep swinging and also dealing with the clouds. It's possible, but super hard and risky. I don't even have a record as this. Let's see if Wolf decides to go for some swag and actually try super hard strats there. Or if we simply decide, you know what, I don't want to take too many risks, let's just play safe and let's just bring it on the fight.
Yeah, let's see what Wolf thinks right now, because even if he's not watching the race or something, he might be thinking, well, I'm on a good pace right now, I'm on a good run, so why risk it right now, right?
Yeah.
Or he can be like, hey, you know what, I know I have a good pace, I want to try to claim a world record right now in the race, so I'm going to play it super risky.
Yeah.
Not sure what the mentality is.
That's definitely a possibility. I mean, I'm not surprised if Wolf decides to go for the world record right now. Yeah, I think he has the world record.
I think he has the world record, yeah. Like
So-
30 minutes, something, I think.
So he knows if
33.
he's in world record place or not.
I think. I'm not sure, but I think Wolf has it.
Yeah, I took the world record a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't checked the leaderboard, so I don't even sure if actually Wolf submitted time. I'm pretty sure it's 2C Plus said me that Wolf got the world record, and I haven't seen 2C Plus or other players doing other runs, so I assume that Wolf has the world record right now. And here we go. Here we go. He has 3 HP, he's playing super safe.
Yeah.
He's playing incredibly safe. I took a hit now.
He pretty much decided not to shoot to make it safer. But then he takes the hit and decides to go all in, so it was, I don't know, it was
HP.
a little bit of weird change of decision suddenly.
Yeah, he decided to play safe at first, but then he decided to do some roundabout swings, and now he has 1 HP. He's
Whoa.
losing a lot of time, but have you seen something? Have you seen something? Oh, he got Wolf actually beat the dragon. So
Yeah.
great job from Wolf. Great job. Yeah, kind of a relatively slow fight compared to worker pace, which I think is something around 1 minute and 15, 1 minute and 10. But still, the important part is okay. I beat the hardest boss of the game.
Yeah,
From
and
now on,
it didn't kill me. It was close though.
Yeah. Hanenwald, it goes all in. Wow, look at the strat. It decide to keep shooting backward. It's a bit risky because, as I said before, you can put yourself in a situation where you have nowhere to go. But at the same time, playing more aggressive means that the fights last less long. And nice job from Hanenwald. That was a very, very smooth fight. And you know what? With this, Hanenwald actually caught up with Wolf by a lot. No, not really a lot, but he caught up.
Yeah, it's some seconds. If he keeps cutting up seconds from the fights coming up, he's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, and another important thing is that you have also to keep an eye on how much Jason is far from Hanenwald.
Yeah.
Jason is a 1 HP now, so you have to play safe here.
Yeah, he has
Even
to
if
play
he
super
doesn't
safe.
die, even if he doesn't die, I don't think he's gonna play aggressive like Island. So Island definitely is gonna save time to Jason. No doubt about that.
I think Jason is usually super YOLO, so I don't think he's gonna play safe. I think he's gonna risk it. Oh no, never mind. He's playing a little bit safe. Just
Yeah,
a
no,
little
he plays
bit.
safe.
He's risking sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Good timing. He had to be perfect with timing here. If you decide to stay
Whoa.
to take a below cloud there. This is a quite nerve-wracking moment.
Oh.
Even for the commentators. No! Ouch! That was super close. That was super close. That was really super close. I mean, I believe it was 40 or 50 HP from the knockout. This is really unfortunate, and probably this seals the deal for
Jason.
concerning the victory of the race. But Hanenwald is far. Hanenwald has to pay attention, has to keep focus because he cannot really defocus, and he has to keep playing at this pace, which is actually very, very, very good pace. He didn't get the quick kill on the B here, so he has, but just for a couple of shots, he gets the knockout pretty much immediately after the beginning of the third phase. And Jason again, 1 HP, second phase of the dragon. Oh, this is not looking good for Jason. The dragon can be really, really, really problematic, especially if you are. But even if you practice it, there's not a fixed strategy that you can always follow and you think, okay, I follow this strategy and 100% unless I screw up, I'm gonna get the knockout. No, the dragon is a battle which relies only on reaction and reflexes.
Yeah.
So basically each time is a new fight. And it happened exactly what I said previously. He was crouched, he shot backwards roundabout, a fireball float above him, and the roundabout hit the fireball. And at that point, nowhere to go because you cannot move sideways because you're crouched. You cannot go down to the clouds because otherwise you will fall into the pit and die. And you cannot jump. So that was that assurance situation for Jason. He has to fight the dragon.
Yeah, the thing with the dragon, like you mentioned, is that even if you practice him a lot, it's pretty much practicing your reflexes because the clouds are always gonna be different, always. And I mean, not only the clouds, the shoots, like pretty much everything that the dragon does is like pretty much different all the time.
Yes.
So it is hard to like. Oh, and he's only 1 HP again on the last phase. Once again, we have seen this movie so far. Let's see if the third one's a good one.
Yeah, another problem is that now you're on race, you are racing against likely in front of a lot of people, and you know that you're losing a lot of time. So on the other hand, you get frustrated because you cannot be the boss. You're losing a lot of time compared to your opponent. A lot of people is watching me dying over and over. You're not supposed to play safe. You're supposed to play safe, but in reality you can't because you're on race and you can't really play safe because otherwise you're gonna lose a lot more time. So this is a situation that psychologically really hard to handle. This is all for all players, including myself.
Yeah,
Not for me,
definitely.
not for top players like Jason.
It's
can
hard.
happen.
Like you have to keep like a balance between like safe play but not so slow play. So and like you say, he's already died a couple times, so he's like, oh, I should play risky the next one so that I don't lose that many time anymore. But it might be then like, oh well, if I play that risky, I might die again, and then I'm gonna be losing even more time. So it is hard to take those decisions sometimes on the fly, especially like you say, when you have the pressure, you know, like maybe my opponents didn't die so many times here, so am I losing time? Where am I compared to the others?
Yeah. Fortunately for Jason, both of his opponents are pretty far because Island Walk is in halfway point of the solid stage play fight. And Wolf is already fighting Werner Werman. Wow, it's pretty quick. Werner Werman is not an easy fight. It's an easy fight only Legacy because you can spam act like crazy. Actually, you can skip pretty much all the difficult patterns. For instance, the one you are seeing right now, where there are multiple attacks combined together. And sometimes figuring out where you have to stand, where you have to position, and in the meantime, keep shooting at the mouse is not easy at all. And it is super easy to get cornered if you misread the pattern. It's really easy to get cornered, and dying becomes super easy. In Legacy, you don't have this problem because the mouse don't even have time to attack you.
Yeah, I have also seen people dying Werner. Like, we didn't see it right now on Wolf, but sometimes in the last phase, he summons like two ghosts that they throw like some ping balls at you. And when those ping balls hit the ground, they split into other two little ping balls. And I have seen people a lot of times like don't really paying too much attention to that split because it's so small and you're already looking at so many things that it can caught you off guard.
In the meantime, nice roundabout swinging from Island Wall. That kind of remind me of the Legacy because there the movements are pretty much the same as in the Legacy category. So very well done from Island Wall. Here swinging is super important, even because the Werner Werman hitbox is huge, so it becomes really important to keep your roundabout DX alive to grant multiple shots. Saving a lot of time. The problem with the ghost fight is when actually the ghosts are combined with the pieces of wood that fall from the ceiling, and sometimes those two attacks combine themselves in very nasty fashion. And if you are not quick at killing the mouse, and if you are not paying attention, it can be tricky. In the meantime, we see that from Island and Wolf there's one boss of difference, but from Jason and Island, I think there are two bosses because Jason actually he completed the B fight. He's now approaching the robot. Actually, three bosses from Jason and Island. Jason has a quite big gap between Island and Jason. Whereas Wolf is seen in range of a death. If Wolf's die, I don't want to jinx anyone, of course, but if Wolf's die, Island is still there, so we definitely still have a race. I would like to underline the amazing race that Island is doing. It's very good run.
Yeah, he's definitely at a super good pace. I mean, I'm not sure if he has already a run for this, but if he has, I'm sure this would be like a... Oh, okay. Because I think this could potentially be like PvP pace then maybe for him, because he's definitely having a super good run right now.
Yeah, definitely super good. Yeah.
And Wolf, that Brini was good as well on Island's one. Oh, and Wolf only with 1 HP right now, very early with Calamaria.
Yeah, but it's not a big deal with Calamaria since having 1 HP right now is kind of standard for this fight. Since sometimes you often want to take damage just because keeping dodging is really time consuming, because when you dodge most of the time you cannot hit the boss.
Yeah.
And that's you're losing a lot of time. So this is a trade-off that you usually want to do. And after all, this fight is pretty much the same in each category. It doesn't really change too much. So all these players are really confident and proficient with the Calamaria fight. So for them, it's not really a big issue playing with just 1 HP, even in under pressure situation like this. But of course, in race, if you see that things go wrong really quick, you have to be cold-blooded and stay focused and maybe play a little bit safe, but still survive. Highland has 3 HP, so he got also a pretty good pattern, so in a good shape right now. Wolf with the train fight. The train fight with this weapon is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, not so different from the low percent category here. It is pretty much. I don't even know if you can actually Q-cycle the skeleton head. You probably can, but Wolf just got it at the third cycle pattern. I believe you can, but I'm not sure. In the meantime, Island Walker is about to beat the Calamaria fight. Ooh, that was a bit close. He got the knockout as soon as he was about to crash into that wall. So all good. Luckily for him,
pretty lucky.
The fight ended up quick enough, but it was. I had the feeling that he was about to actually dodge the wall, so I'm pretty sure it was. The situation was under control, but still. You see the knockout and you see Cuphead a couple of pixels from the wall. You always say, yeah, that was kind of close. Wolf dealing with the last phase of the train, he gets the knockout, and now Wolf is about to enter into the Inkwell Hell, where he fights King Death first, and then our beloved friend David.
Yeah.
Aramon is starting the train fight. Nothing really. Here, first phase is pretty standard. You can just chill there on the edge of your cart and keep shooting, sometimes throwing the X here and there. You really definitely want to have 5 EX at the beginning of this phase. Especially because when you have to shoot upboard, EX makes a lot of difference. This is also for every category, but in particular for the current patch categories, this is really important. 3 cycle for Island Walk as well. Yes, 3 cycle. And Wolf has 2 hearts on his paths. Remember that in current patch we don't really want to play to fight the monkey because the monkey is super long. Instead we want to fight the chips corresponding to the 2 tile, the domino corresponding to the 4 tile, and the 8 ball corresponding to the, you know what? To the 8 tile. Pretty much straightforward. They don't went crazy. Don't go crazy with this. And Jason is about to beat the Werner Wehrmann, 3 HP, all good. Pretty solid fight for him. Highland Walk at the last phase of the train with 3 HP is looking really solid right now. Good DXs. You don't really need to swing the roundabout in this situation because actually keeping the roundabout alive and actually keep hitting the boss when he's so high is hard and too risky, not worth it. And yeah, Highland Walk is about to enter into the Inkwell Hell. And I would like to underline how Highland is not far at all from Wolf.
It's not far at all, yeah. Difference. And I think no deaths at all also for Island Walk so far.
Yeah.
Like, unless something super major happen, I don't think Jason can catch up anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely now. Yeah, they are still quite close each other, but unfortunately for Island, the race is almost over. So there's not really much time remaining to catch up with Wolf. But there are still a couple of things that can go wrong. I'm not going to mention anything because otherwise I would be accused of commentator's curse. So, but of course, I mean, Wolf is in a good shape. 5 HPs, 2 pretty easy fights now. This one is really easy. King Dice is easy. So I mean, everything can happen, of course, but it's gonna be very, very hard.
I think it should be called commentator's power.
Yeah.
I think it more than a course, it's actually like a power that you can pretty much do, like influence the race in any way you want.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that, but Wolf was one frame away from hitting the tree die and hitting the start over tide. He was about to use the parry when the tree was
Was moving.
the top at face. But at that point, oh wait, if I parry now, I'm going to hit the tree and I'm fucked. I'm sorry for the word. I'm like totally down with it. And luckily for him, he noticed that and he stopped. And you know what? Let's just chill a bit. Let's just lose a couple of seconds. But let's make sure we that them too, so that we don't lose everything. Because had he hit the start over, that would be, it would have been a very, very, very close race. Probably 10-15 seconds difference. So, but with this, Wolf I think can also die once to the David and still claim the victory.
I think even one that wouldn't like really take this away from Wolf right now.
And Jason is still, I believe, 3 bosses behind. Those deaths at the Green Match really hinder ruin his run. And in the meantime, someone is following Jason. That's not a problem. That's fine. Congrats to Jason for a new follower. And Jason is fighting Calamaria. He gets the knockout. All good. 1 HP, but I mean, like I mentioned previously, all players are pretty confident with managing Calamaria with 1 HP, since it's required for pretty much every category. So it's something that everyone, mostly, and pretty much everyone, even though I lost France that phase, that's another story. And and Wolf is actually now fighting the devil, the big head phase, and he soon will turn out into a crybaby devil, and from there will be only 100 HP, and the devil will be dead. And he gets the final knockout, so Wolf actually is the winner of the race. I'm not in Speedruns Live, I don't know if there are other players, but I mean, Wolf gets the first place among the players that are actually showcased here in the stream. And is that time the, I believe it's the in-game time, right? You know.
So the one showing on screen is RTA. His official in-game time was 33:21, and I think that's just 2 seconds away from world record, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Let me ask.
Seconds away?
I think it was 2 seconds away from world record.
Ooh, almost for record on race. So big GG from Wolf. That, I mean, Wolf is a beast in this category. It's a beast in Cuphead in general. There's no category, this category Wolf is slightly worse, this category is, no, Wolf is good in every category. And just to mention the pretty ridiculous time he got in Norbos's Legacy just a couple of days ago.
Never mind, he's saying that it's probably a world record.
Probably a world record? Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure why probably, but he says he has a 3309 that hasn't uploaded because his internet sucks and I'm uploading other things. Okay. So, I don't know if he's gonna upload this instead of the 3309. I don't get it. But I guess it was the first recorded record on the internet, maybe? Because his real world record is like on his computer only.
So it's not a world record because as long as, okay, I can tell you I got to 22 in Legacy, but it's on my no, I'm joking. No, I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. We all trust Wolf, so if he claims he has a better time, we trust him.
Yeah, most likely he does.
We are just joking, of course.
Yeah.
We're just joking, of course. So I don't know if we are going to have Wolf here in chat for a quick interview.
Let me see.
In the meantime, Alan Wolf gets the knockout and is finishing second place with an RTA time of 37 minutes 31 seconds. Looking forward to know which was the real time, but I guess it's something around 30 either 34.3, something like that, which is an amazing time, by the way.
Yeah, an official time for him, loadless, was 35:34.
No, 35-34, still a good time, still a very good time. A solid run overall from Highland. He played safe when he needed to play safe, he played aggressive when he needed to play aggressive, and definitely a very good run, very well managed, deathless run, which is always something really important to begin with. And yeah, as long as we will have one of all the races here in chat for quick interview. Let's focus on Jason, who unfortunately had some troubles with the dragon, and is definitely behind, but is close to finish his race regardless. Remember, we were going to remember that this is a weekly race series, and you get awarded with points for depending of your performance in each one of these races. And at the end of the series, I believe this is the 6th weekly race. I'm not familiar with the number of the races. It's the 6th out of 9, but I will let Dino confirm or say differently if it's the case.
No, yeah, this is the 6th week already for races.
All right, and the best 8 player will be inserted into a bracket, and from there we will have a mini tournament featuring all the categories with a system which kind of reminds what is done in Smash Bros for selecting the stages. And here we are going to select the category. That's it. So one player bans a category, the other player bans another one, then they choose among what is remained, and so on and so forth. That's gonna be very, very interesting. And I believe that even this Jason had some troubles here. I think he got insane performance in other places, so Jason is still in good shape for granting the e-spot. Whereas for Island Walk may gain a lot of very important and crucial points because we have I've seen the charts, and we have 5 players that are pretty much secured, pretty much 100% into the bracket unless something crazy happens. And then we have a lot of players that are fighting for the remaining 3 spots, and Highland Walk is one of them. And with this race, Highland Walk may gain a lot of points, which can be very, very crucial for the qualification to the next phase. So very well done from Highland Walk. I mean, this is one of the Highland's favorite categories, so Highland knows this category. He ran this, he has experience, so...
I mean, he made a tutorial for how to do the training clip.
He made a tutorial, yes, as well, so he definitely contributed to develop the strategy and optimize this category. And definitely was his time to shine, he definitely did. Unfortunately against gods, there's nothing you can really do, but... congrats to Island Wolf, congrats to Wolf, and also Jason. Congrats to Jason, who is about to end the race. Only one boss remained, Devil, and remember that also this is also the first among two battery of races. Tomorrow we will have other runners running in this category. And actually, we will have a combined rank. So for Jason, it's very important to finish at his own best to secure him a good time in order to have a good final rank for this race. Jason definitely lost against these 2 runners, but tomorrow there are going to be other runners, so you definitely don't want to lose those as well. So it's really important to Jason actually killing the David and killing it quickly to have a good time. And
yeah, like you mentioned, remember that the race takes usually place in 2 different days. So whatever happened here, it also, like, the actual places need to be defined until the race for tomorrow with the actual time for all the runners.
Yeah, and they don't have anyone, I believe, so...
Hey.
See any.
There he is.
Hey, it's Island.
Cool.
Hey, Alan.
Island. Congrats for the round.
Yeah,
Very good round.
It was
Unfortunately.
with the new
PB?
PB, yeah.
Yeah, nice. He played very well. Very solid race. you play relatively safe when you
I
need it.
did. Yeah, I just don't understand how to save 2 minutes like Wolf. That's pretty crazy.
Wolf is Wolf. It's not okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Wolf is unreal. I mean, but you were pretty close to him. I mean, you ended up being, I mean, not too far from. Probably one boss difference, which is not that bad. So definitely a very good round.
Which was where did I start to fall behind against Wolf? What was his best boss where he saved a lot of time?
I believe you start losing time to Hildeberg. You had a very slow Hildeberg, and you start losing time there. And from there, I mean, Wolf had a pretty solid run overall, so you probably.
Yeah, it was more like a gradually loss of time rather than in one specific section. Like Andrea says, probably Hilda was like the biggest one, but other than that, it was like 1-2 seconds in every fight.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You lost a small amount of time each run, but at each boss. But of course, as long as the run goes on, the gap sums up.
And we have Jason here with us as well. So Jason, what happened with the dragon?
I don't know.
Another victim on Green Math Street. Welcome to the club.
I hadn't practiced at all. I don't really use Roundabout too much unless I'm playing Legacy, Roundabout, Lobber. But I don't know. I wasn't ready for how frequently I would hit those fireballs in the final phase. So I was very bad at dodging those. I died, I think, 3 times on the dragon and restarted once.
Yeah, 3. Something like that. But like I mentioned during the commentary, with the roundabouts, since you have to shoot backwards, there's some situation where you cannot escape. Especially if you stay crouched, a fireball is above you, and the fireball gets hit by one roundabout. At that point, you don't have anywhere to escape, and you died twice this way.
Pretty much, yeah. You just have to position yourself in the non-4 positions that they're going to shoot out from.
Yeah, and I think in every single, like all the ones where I died, I went into the dragon phase at just 1 HP, so that wasn't working out too well for me.
Yeah, it's rough. Bad. Even with 3 HP, you can still die in the last phase.
Yeah. And I had a kind of rough Beppy also. I think Beppy's where
you died in the
final phase.
The very end, you died. Well, that's really unfortunate. I mean, Beppy's a long boss, and if you die at the very end, you're going to lose a lot of time.
Yep.
That you started actually losing time.
I will say, for the people that haven't practiced this category, they're going to have a hard time. This category definitely takes a lot of practice, more than I thought it would.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if you
got the tutorial clip fairly quickly, though. I got it like 4th or 5th try. I don't know how fast you guys got it, but...
Wolf got 2nd try.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Wolf got an incredible good clip.
And I love one after 4 or 5 tries, I believe.
Yeah,
but still good. 4 or 5 tries, I believe. For a precise trick like that, I believe it's very good. Mm-hmm. So, definitely well done from all of you. And it has been a very great race. And unfortunately, Island Workers there's nothing you can do. But apart from that, I believe that your time is very solid, and let's see tomorrow and how many people will race. And I believe that your time is solid enough. You can definitely aspire to top 3, if not top 2.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And those points would be very, very important to grant access to the final phase. We have 4 or 5 runners, which are very close. And there are 5 spots are pretty much secured by Luigi, TC Plus, I believe Jason, Wolf. I don't remember who the 5th was, but there was another guy who was a lot of points and was pretty much his spot secured. But then we have 3 spots remained, and you, Kalev, Akirta, you're all there, and you are fighting for.
I would say maybe Jumper.
Yeah, Jumper also. I don't have the leaderboard right now open, so I'm kind of trying to remember.
I believe Liso is on there too.
Oh, well, Liso, yeah, that's right.
That's my Liso.
Yeah, I think he missed a couple of races, but he was up there whenever he was definitely the first couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, you got a lot of points for the first races.
Yeah, if I don't make it, I'll definitely regret not participating in some of those current patch races because I wasn't comfortable with current patch, but now I am. So.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, still 3. I believe at least 3 races, so everything is still possible. I believe that all we have only. I don't know what which will be the categories. I mean, it's up to C++, and so I have no idea of what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's gonna surprise you guys on Monday.
I guess we'll see.
Let's see what he's got in mind now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that being said, does anybody has any last words?
No, GG. Thank you for
good game to all my
restreaming.
competitors. Great job, guys, and thanks for the restream and the commentary.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah,
Thank you for running, and everybody, see you tomorrow, and have a good day.
Okay, take care.
Peace.
Bye.